When you're lying in bed at night, do you ever randomly remember some relatively minor social missteps or poorly chosen words you did/said years earlier? And then beat yourself up over it even though it really wasn't a big deal? If so, what happened? In 7th grade, some girl was wearing a Goonies shirt. I had no idea what it was, but it looked like a punk band or something, and she was preppy, so my emo ass tried to act offended and said, "Do you even listen to the Goonies?" I've always been overweight. My whole life, even as a little kid. Never really got made fun of for it though. This is the first, and probably the only time I got made fun of for it to my face anyway. I was in 7th grade, and I was in a small classroom of about 8 people. This very thin girl held up her arm and made a comment about her arm fat. There was clearly nothing there, her arm was a thin twig. I just kind of rolled my eyes in my mind. The teacher, a man around 35, told her, "You're not fat. Girls always think they're fat." Something like that. He points around the class to each person repeating, "You're not fat, you're not fat, you're not fat." To everyone. He saved me for last, pointed at me, and didn't say anything. A couple people in class chuckled. Extremely inappropriate thing for the teacher to do, and I've never forgotten it. In 6th grade, puberty was hitting me hard. As all guys know, this is peak knob time, no apparent reason boner. One day in math class, the teacher calls on me to go answer a math problem on the board, and I'm dealing with a serious rager in my pants. With no other options, I go up to the board with my hands in my pockets and slouched as much as I could to hide the tend in my pants. As I'm walking up, I sneeze and a long trail of snot flies out, just dangling out of my face. So I'm just standing there in the front of class with a tent in my pants and my hands covering my face covered in snot. To make it even better, I was the new kid at a Catholic school where everyone grew up together. On my graduation, I accidentally kissed my principal in mouth. Was supposed to be just a cheek kiss, but it went badly. I still think about that with disgust. Saved, so I can revisit this thread tonight when I can't sleep, because I walked into the ladies' restroom while on vacation when I was 10. I went to Dairy Queen with my daughter. She brought along her kitten. The cute girl at the walk-up window asked my daughter what the kitten's name was. Princess was the response. Smiling and feebly attempting to make conversation, I said today to indicate that my daughter changed the cat's name frequently. I got a dirty look and the girl left the window to go make whatever cold treat we had ordered. It wasn't until later, on the walk home, that I realized that she thought I was telling her to hurry the hell up and make my order. Still haunts me years later for some reason. I took my car to the local garage, and after the mechanic finished the repairs he said it should run nicely. Now I, for some stupid, idiotic, moronic, foolish reason, said you too. It's never stopped haunting me for 4 years. When I was in high school, I got very drunk at my friend's house and my ex-girlfriend showed up. She took care of me while I was puking outside, and then I immediately tried to kiss her. She stopped me and asked what the fucking I was doing, to which I replied, "I'm drunk, bitch, I don't know." That crosses my mind every so often. Deleted. When I was about 8, for some reason I thought that the word virgin was bad, so when my stepbrother at the time started calling me names, I thought it would be a good idea to fire back with, "Well, at least I'm not a virgin," and my dad's eyes got really wide, and he quickly explained to me what I had just said. 11 years later I am still embarrassed. Smile. Alright, here's a good one, probably buried at this point, but when I was 11 or 12 I was at a party with some cool kids that I was excited to be invited to. We were doing 11-year-old cool kid stuff like playing spin a bottle. The host of the party, Nick, ended up kissing some girl, I can't remember her name, let's call her Beth. Later on, Nick's stepdad came downstairs to check on us. When he asked us how things were going, the girl I had a crush on, Anna, for some reason started to blurt out Nick kissed Beth, but stopped short realizing her mistake. Me to the rescue, I pick up where she left off and for some inexplicable reason tell Nick's dad the Nick kissed Beth. Silence and confusion among all, even Nick's dad, who chooses to ignore the comment completely. I was mostly treated with a kind of pity and curiosity after that. Some of them asked me why I did that and I just didn't say anything in response. Pretty funny really. Bonus cringe. When I was in 9th or 10th grade I was temporarily a born-again Christian. In English class we did an exercise where we went around listing things we would take from the house if there was fire. When it was my turn I admonished the class with "I can't believe no one has said their Bible yet." As if the most popular and available book in the world was the most important thing to save from a house fire. I'm pretty sure I was smugly playing with my cross necklace while I said this. I think about a mistake I made during the premiere of a musical we set up in high school. I walked onto the stage forgetting that I was supposed to bring a girl who was my prisoner on stage with me. Silence. Everyone paused waiting for me to realize the mistake, and when I realized something was wrong, I went off the side of the stage and picked up some props that I was meant to use in a scene later on, and walk proudly back in. Silence again. Fuck. Had to walk off stage again to bring the prisoner with me. And #X200B. Haunted me for many years after, and still my brain decides to bring it up again from time to time. Gives me a bad gut feeling even though it's about 15 years ago and nobody probably remembers it but me. In a comics convention, I met a cartoonist I really like and said my favorite thing by him was, insert title from another author with the same theme. He corrected me and said that this was by another guy I also really like. The worst part was me asking him if he was sure. It's his goddamned comic, more on me. I was in like 9th or 10th grade I think and I was making out with this girl in my basement, and all of a sudden I think it's a good idea to whisper in her ear. Below me in the weirdest and softest voice. It somehow makes it worse typing it out. During my high school years I never ate breakfast because I just wanted to sleep in that little bit more before heading to school. One day in year 7 morning Spanish class, our lovely Spanish teacher was handing out chocolate digestives for every right answer we give. I got one right and got my deserved reward. The next person next to me also got the answer right but they didn't want the reward so she asked if anyone wanted to have the biscuit instead so of course I instinctively put my hand up. Voila! I got a second biscuit but what haunts me is how I ate that second heavenly snack. As she handed me the biscuit I was still going through the first biscuit and I'd cry but as I received that second treat I just made a tiny coin-like slit with my mouth and inserted that biscuit like you would when inserting a coin to play in the arcade. I cannot forget the looks everyone in the class gave me as they tried to compute WTF just happened. I guess I played myself skeptical. I saw a cute girl and thought I'd ask her out. I just asked her if she wanna go out for a coffee with me. She said she was not interested. Instead of saying something clever to save my face, I blurted out please. I'll rue that moment forever.